Hello there, people. Nice to see you all well. This is me, Dark Sage Walker. So, we've had some rocky runs as the Lost lately, but not letting that get me down. You know how the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, or in the case of Isaac, life gives you lemons, re-roll. Now, I don't really want to re-roll Holy Mantle, taking this a little too literally. Wow, those are both useless. Well, okay, let me paraphrase. Those are both useless as the Lost. If I were any other character, that would be fantastic. Okay. It's not exactly the happiest room I've ever seen. Alright, so we still have a good few goals to accomplish here as the Lost to complete the post-it note. The one that seems to be the biggest hurdle at the moment is Boss Rush, but this challenge too shall pass. I just need to focus, buckle down, and make it happen. Okay, where I'm at it is pretty early in the morning, so I'm trying to keep it at least a little bit down. Are you serious? Are you serious with this right now? Look, I kind of need my money. So that's a no-take at the moment. When you're trying to establish yourself, you need all the resources you can get. And unfortunately, I don't think that Bum Friend is going to convert one resource into one that's going to be more helpful for me. So, that's unfortunately kind of a waste of an item room. I mean, I would feel the same way even if I weren't playing as the Lost. That's just, it's not really what you want. And I'm not, you don't need to get the super bum transformation, so to speak, in order to get 1,000,000%. So, yeah, just kind of meaningless, really. There we go. Yeah, just keep that up. Yeah, just keep it up, buddy. Just keep it up. I say it's not exactly the most difficult boss in the world, but he is pretty tanky when you're at base stats. And now, always curse the goddamn blind. And without a key, I can't even get in there, so... Hey, this run isn't exactly looking too good so far. But that's all part of the challenge. Sometimes the runs you get don't really give you the sort of start that you're looking for. Which, like I said, makes this a game more so about resource management than just being overpowered. If you can get overpowered, fine, but more than likely you're going to have to manage your resources well in order to get to that point. Pardon me. Okay, so there's a chance I might not survive this room. But it looks like that terror has passed. Apparently we're on a challenge seed right now. No collectibles, ever. Keys? Bombs? What are those? No, sir, you will work with what we give you, which is precisely nothing. Well, I made reference to Monstros Lung in an earlier episode. This seems like a good time to put my money where my mouth is. What is this? You know what? I'm down. Alright, now things are starting to look a little bit better. Jump the gun! Better be careful with that. Not that I think Pulse Worm is helping at all, but hey, it's at least making things a little bit more of a party atmosphere. There we go. I have no idea what I'm picking up, so let's just go. Necronomicon, okay, that's nice. The nail, that's also nice, but not as nice. I don't know, I think Necronomicon is the best choice right now. Alright, so Monstro's Lung, a nice fire rate improvement. Yeah, it's worth having a look. Oh, how are you still alive? Go away. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Alright, run is looking better. At least we have a nice powerful weapon here. It's just a matter of using it effectively. And then trying not to get too angry at Curse of the Maze. Easier said than done. Still haven't even seen a bombs. And we will continue to not see a bomb because bombs are for losers. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I just love not being able to move. Hey, Monstro's Lung plus Hamilacria? Okay, let's see how this works. And I knew what I was getting into when I picked this up. My fire rate is going to be horribly slow, but is such an interesting tier effect. It's kind of hard to say no to it. And you know, even if I don't end up winning this run, I do know that I had a fun tier effect combination. And who knows, maybe this will turn into something even crazier. Oops. Does cover a nice wide area when I attack. No, I was kind of hoping that because I already had one tier effect that was lowering my tier delay, or, you know, making my tier delay worse, I should say, that it would just be like, oh, okay, no, we're not going to punish you that bad for picking up Hamilacria. No, it's that having been said, I'm still enjoying this. even if I lose this run as a result of just picking up an item that probably wasn't too good for me, I'm still enjoying myself. Okay, you can stop creating minions now. Is that all you do? You just create minions? I don't think I've seen this champion before. All he does is create minions. Alright, well, let's be fair. I'm not entirely sure what I think of this Monstro's Longhamel combo, but we're gonna make the best of this. And even if I fail this run, at least we got to see a neat synergy, right? God, it does so much damage. But I do need some, it would be nice to get some DPS improvements I could use. Obviously, Tears Up is a big one, but just more damage or some tear effects would be nice. As you can see, what I hit basically doesn't survive, but I am also having to play much more slowly and methodically than I tend to play normally as well. Which again, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. At least until you take it into the context of, yeah, but I really need to clear boss rush. Then there's the lack of keys. Oops. Oh, I was hoping it would get both of them. Damn. There we go. Whoa, who survived? You did. You weren't supposed to. Trying to think, what sort of tear effect would be really nice to go along with this odd combination that I have. Maybe homing tears would be good. Starting to notice how much this is slowing me down, though. I just thought you said you weren't going to complain. Well, to be fair, yes, I did say that. Shielded tears. Well, now we've got a nice defensive boost to go along with all of this. That was lucky. Let's see, I don't see anything here that's really going to be all that helpful, so I go away. Yeah, let's just go. Oh, speed increase. Nice, although not exactly what I wanted. I'm serious right now. Oh, what? Now, how come I can get lump of coal just about every... I can get lump of coal just about every daily challenge, but in a normal run, they're like, no, you'll take Krampus's head, you'll like. Also, still haven't really gotten any damage ups, I've noticed. Still noticeably lacking in that department. Oh, I don't have keys. Oh, that's great. Yeah, maybe you guys could, you know, take damage. Maybe just go away. That'd be great. How many times have I hit you directly and you still survive? Definitely starting to feel a little bit of pressure on this run. And for what it's worth, I've had some really good synergies when it comes to using Hamalacria. So even though I'm very much in complaint mode right now, I'm not upset necessarily with the item. I've had some very interesting runs with that item. Some very powerful runs with Hamalacria. It's just this one is maybe I didn't think this one through a little, very carefully. As interesting as I find this particular synergy to be, maybe, Monstro's Long Hamalacria, not a good idea. Something to think about for the future. Especially when I was doing just fine with, just Monstro's Long by itself. So once again, we've got all these cool defensive things coming along, but I can't help but think, where's my attack power? Like, you can't seriously be saying that this is everything you get. Somewhere along the way, you've got to be willing to bend a little and try to make things a little bit nicer offensively. At least you'd think, but I mean, I've seen some pretty train wreck runs, so I know that the game doesn't necessarily need to give me anything. Okay, let's see if I can get something. I mean, that's something, but for the cot, oh, what? Okay, feel stupid now. No, I like what I have. Steam cells are usually worth it. Blue candle. Yeah, blue candle is definitely worth it over Krampus's head. Alright, and we'll buy the card. Hey, everyone relax, don't worry, it's only the slowest synergy on planet Earth. Yep, I felt better. Keeping relatively quiet right now because not only are lost runs dangerous, but I have a particularly dangerous variant of a lost run that I'd kind of like to make somewhere. That having been said, I don't need to be as quiet as I've been, and I recognize the folly of what I'm doing. And if I expect people to be tuning into my work, I gotta be doing something to make them more interested, right? Can't just be like, look, it's Isaac. You tune in just for Isaac. No, it's kind of not how this works, honestly. I'm working on his knife. I'm so confused. What has this run become? Well, the lack of keys is definitely noticeable. I think, honestly, this might have just made things worse. Yeah, there are certain synergies where Mom's knife is not the best idea. And this one doesn't necessarily make things worse, it just doesn't make them better. If that makes any sense. Oh, yay. Beautiful. Okay, that's not helpful. That's also not helpful. Man. But it's almost like only certain permutations of run are good for the Lost. Go figure. You know, not to sound like I'm complaining or anything, but it kind of felt like the flame just went right through him harmlessly. Just saying, why am I carrying this candle if it's not going to do any damage? Oh, hello, luck upgrade. And the funny part is I could have had a run that was just Monstro's Long and Mom's Knife, and that would have been fine. I really think I kind of screwed up taking Haemalacria. Honestly, I think they should just take this item and make it so it doesn't produce a significant tier delay penalty. Like, just straight up remove the Fire rate decrease from Himalacria. And it's odd for me to say that because I remember when the item was originally released and the fire rate penalty was just horrendous. I'm not saying that it's terrible now. It's gotten a lot better. But oh my goodness, when the item was first released, it was just not good. It was so not good, in fact, that the item was pretty much untakeable. Now it's better, but I would hardly call it like anything wonderful. Like this item still has plenty of issues. And like I said, because it had gotten better, I guess there was a part of me that was thinking, okay, well, I already have Monstro's Lung, so they're not gonna impose an even bigger penalty, seeing as there's already one for taking Monstro's Lung. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. Well, I mean, at least it's damage up. Pretty decent damage up, too. Though, if I were to say anything positive about the run right now, and there are positives, I know I've been doing mostly complaining about things, but I do have some good defensive items, and again, I know a lot of people talk down about Farting Baby, but it's still something I can hide behind to avoid enemy shots. You got a defensive orbital, I've got the damage output thing on the, every shot that I fire, despite the fact that I'm only firing, one shot, a week in advance, or with a week of advance notice. I know how to talk, leave me alone. I'm not firing very often, but when I'm firing, it's destroying, is what I'm trying to get at.
Balls of steel, 48-hour energy.
I don't have enough keys for this. Though granted, I could still open one or two of them and see what we get. It's just, is it worth fighting 3 bosses for? The other positive with this run is that because I have to take so much time to prep a shot, it's making me focus more so on dodging, which I'd say is definitely not a bad thing. You know when you've become too overly aggressive. All right, we're gonna go back and open a chest or two, and just hope that it's worth it. Get the ones behind rocks first. Oops, thought I had fully charged a shot there. I was wrong. Okay, well, can't really say that was worth anything. Maybe I'll go back when I have another key. And speaking of another key, Okay, yeah, it wasn't really worth it to do that room, but hey, you never know without trying. And hey, what if there had been something good there? What if Cricket's head was in that room? Then I'd have been going, wow, I feel like an idiot for thinking I shouldn't have done this. So just because it was a waste of time this time doesn't mean that it's a waste of time every time, if that makes sense. Smooth. Oh, it somehow worked out. Somehow or another, that terrible shot worked out. I mean, you don't have to move, but just saying. Alright, well, the shot speed up is not a bad thing. The one curse of doing lost runs is that more often than not, you're just gonna be focused on not dying. So it's hard to have good commentary when you're doing this. Let's be fair. Right now, what I'm doing is basically making excuses for myself. I'm aware of that. But I do believe that it's not without merit that I do that, because even though I've got plenty of things to talk about, I sort of accidentally created a run for myself that is not very conducive to having good conversation. And there are things to have conversations about, mind you. Such as further assessment that the Epic Games Store is a pile of hot garbage. I mean, I get the feeling this is something that we all already knew, but bears repeating. Well, what makes you say that? Well, I mean, now that I'm half an hour into the run and I kind of feel confident with the playstyle, sure, let's talk about that. And I don't know, I'd say it's just as... Wait, what? Hang on, I want to make sure we all saw that, right? I mean, that wasn't just me being prudish with how the game runs. That just happened, right? He just kind of shot without actually opening up. As if the host can start doing that, then we're inviting into this world a whole new slew of troubles. And that is what I saw, right? So, as I was saying, there is a game out there called The Outer Wilds, not to be confused with The Outer Worlds or The Outer Limits or indeed Outer Space, which, you know, it's an indie game that's been crowdfunded. So once again, we've got a Phoenix Point situation. And it was announced just earlier this week that they were taking the Oof, okay, we are in trouble. Yep, there it goes. Alright, coming back as Blue Baby now, because I figured that run was cursed from the outset. And it's not any better now that I don't have the ability to fly. But at least it's a way to finish the run. That's why I took the Ankh in the first place. Sometimes you just get tired of not completing a run. to be fair, this still isn't a good run, but imagine that, a run so cursed that not even Mom's knife can actually save it. So, I think we all see where this story is going. It was announced that they signed the exclusivity deal with Steam, with Epic, and you know the world would just keep on turning were it not for the idea that it was already suggested in their crowdfunding campaign. Below me, in their crowdfunding campaign, that the game was going to be being released on Steam. So instead of communicating with their audience that we're gonna make the exclusivity deal with Epic, we really need the money, you know, being upfront and honest, they just kind of one day decided, yeah, we're doing this. You know, it was without warning, without ceremony, just yeah, we're going Epic exclusive. And again, it's at least somewhat understandable when you're talking about an indie dev studio. But once again, you're crowdfunding. If you're not going to deliver to your backers what you said you're going to deliver, then now we've got issues. Which brings up the idea of, like, I'll go into more detail on the whole Epic Games thing and what I think of this, and probably in the next run, just because maybe I shouldn't have done that. You just get so desperate to be able to do damage. And the problem at the moment isn't even the damage, it's the fire rate. Like I said, this run is so that not even Mom's knife can save it. And admittedly, I put myself into another bad situation taking the mark. But again, you just get desperate. You want things to go faster. You want them to go better. And then you kind of forget what you're doing, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I just noticed I'm on Curse of the Unknown. Look at that, even at a full charge, the knife only goes out about an inch in front of my face. Like, I don't even know how that's possible. Oops. I guess I kind of accidentally hugged the door when I didn't mean to there. That'll help. But long story short, Outer Wilds signs Epic Games Store exclusivity deal, now all the people that went to back the game for promise of being able to play it on Steam, which once again let's confirm it is a not only more reliable but superior storefront. Why Epic thought that releasing their fucking storefront in such a shoddy and feature incomplete state would be acceptable is beyond me. Just things that are just common fucking sense are not available on that shop. And it makes me, and just because of how Epic works, it makes me wonder if it's by design that their shop is inferior to Steam. Now, I'm not sure that that's necessarily the case. That's just rampant speculation on my behalf. What I don't think is too difficult to speculate on is the idea that, with the success of Fortnite, they started to get these aspirations of being absolute tops. So what they did was they released this storefront to combat Steam, and who knows, maybe, oh really, this room? With this setup, you want me to do this room? Ugh. And again, keep in mind, this is far from a train wreck, but it's not great either. Anyway, so I get the feeling that they saw how much money they were making with Fortnite Battle Royale, and then said, you know what, we have the means by which to combat Steam now. We can give them healthy competition. And when you're giving them competition, though I think healthy is not the word I would use for it. To be fair, it kind of feels like we're not even meeting on the same battleground more often than not. Now, I said I was going to save this and save the second part for another video, and indeed that's exactly what I plan to do. But just keep... Just keep these ideas in mind, because they're going to come up again. Oh, duffed. All right, somehow or another we're doing this. Actually kind of looking forward to this run being over so I can be like, yay, I can move on to doing something better. Or at least with a better run. Definitely take Surface Kiss. Celtic Cross. This isn't book one, is it? Oh, so it is. There we go. Alright. Take that. Alright, Serpent's Kiss is saving my ass. And you know what? In the long run, Mom's Knife is still doing a good job, even when it's being so horribly bastardized by the rest of the run. No, Shard of Glass is awful, I don't want. Well, I'm glad my orbital was there, otherwise I just would have taken some really stupid damage. Again, I have Holy Mantle, it's not that big a deal, but still, I'd rather not take dumb damage if you can avoid it. I saw another black heart there, not that I can reach it right now. Hey, Serpent's Kiss is really doing me a worldly good right now. I know why, too, it's because I have a relatively high luck score. I mean, I've had it higher than 4 before, but 4 is still pretty good. Most runs you're not going to get that high. You know, whatever. It works. I'm just going to say no to that. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Sometimes you have a hard time avoiding the spread shots when you have to get really up close and personal to enemies to do damage to them. And that's kind of the thing we've got going on here. We kind of gotta get really close to enemies in order to do effective damage to them. I am happy to say that the run more or less came together at the end here. We are going to win this one, of that I have no doubt. Not unless I get real stupid on this last floor here. So, we're going to have a more honest conversation a little bit later about whether or not the Epic Games Store is healthy competition. I honestly argue no, probably not, but... I mean, yes, it is competition, but again, the idea of calling it healthy competition doesn't seem right. Especially since they barely seem to be competing on the same playing field. Like I said, that's something that I want to save for another video when I A, have more time to talk about it, and B, hopefully don't have to struggle with such a difficult run. Go away. Okay, yeah. It's a fire rate improvement, not a huge one, but... And you know, I had started to talk about Farting Baby earlier. To be fair, what Farting Baby is kind of a less effective Dry Baby, because instead of doing the Necronomicon effect when it blocks shots, it just farts. And so, you know, I understand it's kind of a joke of an effect. I completely get that, but you know, being a slightly worse version of a really good item doesn't make it terrible, just makes it lackluster. But it's still a great defensive item, and you know, if I had a run where I could take advantage of any kind of range. But somehow or another with this awful run, I managed to win. And I think it was mostly because I took an item that gave me a little bit of a margin for error. So, make of that what you will. Get a great run, get smashed. Get a terrible run, do fine. Sometimes the universe is full of paradoxes. Alright, thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel to see more in the future. drop a like, leave a comment, but the best thing you can do with this video is to share it with a friend. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I'll be seeing you.